All right, all right, all right. Here we go. Today, I'm going to give you guys two strategies for adopting the impossible to fail mindset. And I will tell you, if you don't adopt an impossible to fail mindset in network marketing, you most likely will fail. So, very important message that we're going to be covering today. And listen, if you guys have not subscribed to my newsletter over at mattmorris.com, make sure you hop over there. Put your name and email address in, and you will get my golden nuggets of wisdom dropped into your inbox every single day. So listen, as you guys hop on, let me know where you're tuning in from. Give me your city, your state. Let me know what country you're in. Let me know if you're watching it live or on the replay. And listen, if you do decide to share this and give some value to some others, definitely let me know in the comments that you did that so I can give you a shout out. So listen, this impossible to fail mindset was something that I definitely did not have in my beginning years in network marketing. In fact, I struggled a ton. Some of you have heard my story. 5 years it took me to get to a full-time income. So literally every month for 5 long and painful years, I spent more money than I made. And it was amazingly frustrating, like banging my head against a wall and so frustrated. Like, why can't I make this work? I see other people crushing it at the highest levels. What the hell is wrong with Matt Morris? Why can't I make it work? And so frustrated, feeling like I'm banging my head against a wall. I feel defeated. I feel kind of like a failure because all these other people have joined after me and they've actually passed me up. And I look at many of them and I'm like, why are they having success and I'm not? I'm a hard worker. I'm not the worst communicator in the world. I'm coming to the trainings. I'm reading books. Why can't I make it work? And so there were times where, listen, I wanted to cry. I'll be honest with you, there were times when I did cry. And if you've cried because of this, it's okay. Just don't cry and give up. Cry to keep going. So let me know if you can relate to that. Janisha, thank you for that share. I appreciate it. And so I'm going to give you two strategies that have helped me over the years. And the first one I'll break into two parts. And it really revolves around getting good. I put in the title, 2 strategies to adopt the impossible to fail mindset, even if you suck really bad. And so you may be really terrible in network marketing. When I got started, I was awful. I mean, the phone weighed 800 pounds. I couldn't pick it up. It was like, I stuttered and stammered. I was like, you wouldn't want to do this, would you? That kind of thing. I mean, I was just really bad. And thankfully, I stuck with it long enough. And I'm going to give you an analogy. And here's what I believe is true. It are these words. If you want to write something down, write this down. You can't not get good. You can't not get good if and only if you're willing to actually practice it. And I'll give you a story. Now, I am not musically inclined at all. I wanted to be a rock star when I was a kid. And so I took guitar lessons. I'm basically tone deaf and I couldn't even tune my guitar. Right. And I took lessons for a couple months. I just couldn't like make it work and I quit. Now, the tone deaf thing is something that I kind of made up in my mind because I saw my grandfather who was just naturally gifted. He could pick up a guitar and just play music. My brother, same way. My brother can just like hear a song and pick at it for a little bit and he can duplicate the song. Me, I didn't have that ability. So the story in my head was I'm not musically inclined. I suck at it. And over the years, I just never even tried. And my kids wanted to play piano, and I bought them a little keyboard, and I started looking at apps that help you play the piano. And there's an app out there, I can't remember what it's called, but it basically will listen to you play the piano, and it knows what key that you hit, and it walks you through how to play songs. And I started out with the basic stuff, and then I kept moving from lesson to lesson to lesson to lesson. And I was doing this like an hour a night, 30 minutes to an hour a night, most nights. And I got to the point where I could actually work my way through a song. And contrary to my belief that I'm just not musically inclined and there's no way that I could do it. Now, I really wasn't enjoying the process that much, so I didn't continue with it. But the moral of the story is this: if you have someone to instruct you, Maybe it's an app, maybe it's videos online, maybe it's a mentor that you work directly with, and you practice every day. What happens is you can't not get good. And so you may be the worst guitar player in the world, you may be the worst piano player in the world, but I think you would agree with me is that if you had a coach, someone to listen to and to guide you on learning how to play the piano, and you practiced an hour a day over the course of a year, what would happen? Even if you suck really, really bad, what would happen? At the end of a year, you'd get kind of good. You'd be able to play a song or two. And if you kept playing an hour a day for a couple of years, what would happen? You'd get really good. In fact, after 1 year, I think you'd probably be really good. You could play songs and you could wow people, you know? And so it's the same thing in network marketing. The reason why people don't get good in network marketing is the same reason people don't get good at the piano is they don't practice. They don't do it over and over and over and over. And so you want to adopt this mindset. What I learned years ago from my mentor was you obviously want to adopt the things that leaders do. Okay, we're in the business of duplication. We're in the business of modeling. So you want to model the things that they're doing. Maybe that's recruiting scripts, closing scripts, how to present your opportunity, how to present your products and your services. You want to duplicate those things, but if you want to have dramatic levels of success, you can't just duplicate the how-tos. I said it yesterday, if how-tos were enough, we'd all be rich, skinny, and happy, wouldn't we? How-tos are never enough. You want to model the mindset. And so the mindset that I believe you have to adopt if you want to crush it at the highest levels in network marketing, and if you want to go from sucking to mastery, have the mindset that it's impossible for you not to get good. Now, you need two things. What are those two things? Number one is you need a mentor, you need a coach. And if you don't have access to someone directly that you're one-on-one with, then let YouTube be your mentor. I had a good friend of mine, a guy who's become a good friend, and deep down into my organization, basically everyone from me and him quit. And he was just a guy who was hungry and didn't have access to anyone in his upline. So his mentor became YouTube. He got on YouTube, watched all my videos and started crushing it, produced big results. And then all of a sudden, obviously, I know who he is because he's crushing it in my group. So you need a mentor and you need to practice every day. Every day, just practice. Now, you don't need to practice 8 hours a day to get ridiculously good in a year, but you need to practice every day. And the reason why people don't get good is very simply, it's no shortage of coaching. There's no shortage of coaching anymore, especially with social media, YouTube, you name it, no shortage. Lots of trainers out there like myself who have quality training products that will teach you mastery in our profession. You just got to practice. So that is strategy number one. Now let's talk about strategy number two, why I believe it is impossible to fail. And I adopted this when I first crushed it in network marketing. I kind of borrowed a version of this philosophy from my mentor, who was the most amazing leader I'd ever seen, had already made $1 million when I started working with him, had built teams of tens of thousands of people. And here's what I adopted for myself was that it's absolutely impossible for me not to get to a multiple six-figure a year income. It's impossible. And here's why. The reason why it's impossible in my mind, and this is no guarantees of income, nothing like that. This is my own personal mindset. I would encourage you to adopt the same mindset, adopt the same level of belief. It's impossible. There's no chance, 0% chance of failure. And here's why. Because I know that if I go show my opportunity to enough people, I'm going to get some to say yes. So all I have to do is show my opportunity to enough people to get some to say yes. Now, it's a multiple sort. So I've got to sort through the no's to get the yeses. I also have another sort. I have to sort through the yeses to find the builders. So all I have to do to find builders, all I have to do is get enough people to say yes. And if I get enough people to say yes, I will find some that will go out and build. I can't not. I mean, the attitude is I can't not find people who are going to go out and build if I get enough yeses. And then the next level is I'm going to sort through the builders to find the leaders, the top producers. And I know beyond a shadow of a doubt, you can't convince me otherwise, that the leaders are out there. There are people out there waiting for someone to come along and change their life, someone to come along and present an opportunity. And that person just needs to be you. You have to sort through enough no's to find the yeses, sort through the yeses to find the builders, and sort through the builders to find the leaders. The leaders are those who are going to show up at every event. They're going to go out and they're going to plow forward, and they're going to go through the rejection. They're going to take the no's, and they're going to do whatever it takes to build a massive organization and become financially free. And I know it's impossible for me not to find the leaders if I find enough builders. How do I find enough builders? I just find enough people to say yes. And how do I find enough people to say yes? I just find enough people to say no. So it's kind of like yesterday when I talked about the recruiting numbers that led to 1 million customers in my group in 8 years. My secret was not that I found the most amazing leaders. I did. I found some great leaders, but the secret wasn't finding the leaders. I don't know how to find the leaders. I know how to get rejected massively. And because I went and got rejected massively, guess what happened? I found enough yeses to find enough builders to find enough leaders. And that led to over 1 million customers in 8 years. So my friends, those are the two strategies. Strategy number one is you can't not get good. If you practice every day, you need two things. What do you need? A coach, you need a mentor, and you need to practice daily. Very, very simple. So strategy number one, you can't not get good. And strategy number two is you can't not find leaders. In my mind, it's impossible. I think it's absolutely impossible not to find amazing leaders. Again, how do you do that? It's a multiple sort. You sort through the no's to find the yeses to find the builders, and the builders to find the leaders. So that's it, my friends. Very simple concept. And I'm telling you, if you will adopt this belief and just take it in your mind and say, you know what, I'm going to choose to believe that is true for me, and I'm going to take action, and I'm going to practice daily, and I'm going to go out and do the numbers. My friends, I believe you'll succeed. So if you enjoyed this, hit the share button, give some value to some others. And again, if you haven't subscribed to my newsletter, hop over to mattmorris.com, put your name and email address in, and I send daily nuggets of wisdom as it relates to network marketing into your inbox every single day. Take care, everyone.